language which is understandable and acknowledged by all. Again, there is a misconception that SMS language is the product of a lazy and illiterate youth. Now, if we go by this hypothesis, then what is the justification for people using abbreviated language like PS for postscript, IOU, and there are other words? So it's not that always the lazy people would only use. People who are highly active and people who want to experiment with the language all the time, they would be coming up with new encoding of SMS languages. Now, why do we encourage SMS language or emoticons into translating literature? One way to say is that translation is always a multilingual process. Otherwise, translation no longer exists. So you need to be expert at 2 or 3 languages or more than 2 languages. That is how you can see that SMS allows you an opportunity to mix different languages. For example, you can use Gujarati words, you can use Hindi words, and this flexibility creates a new English that is known as Hinglish or Gujlish or whatever. There are people like me or people of English literature, teachers of English literature, who would frown and say, no, this is not done. And the generation next is lazy and they do not know the correct rules of grammar. It's wrong. We can't stop the language from being global, because ultimately the global and local, all these phenomena would sooner or later going to influence the language revolution. Now, what are the problems that we encounter? One of the problem is the keypad. The mobile keypad is not designed taking into view that in future people would be using SMS language extensively. I will give you an instance that on key 7 of the mobile, there are 4 letters, P, Q, R, S. Now, if you want to type S, you need to press the same button 4 times, whereas S is used number of times in language. Whereas it's very simple to type out Q, but Q is very rarely used. So these are the difficulties that you generally encounter. But with people using this language more and more, I'm very hopeful that in the days to come, new experimentation and new keypad and new keyboards would also come. Another problem that is likely to come is multiple meanings. Multiple meanings can be a blessing and multiple meanings can be confusing also. So, for example, simple letters like LOL can mean laughing out loud and can mean also lots of love. So that's how you find out different interpretation coming out from words. And that is what the nature of SMS language is, because it wants to create its own window of users, where the users are using the previously agreed symbols. Again, for example, sometimes if 2 users are using the same language, then if one would be adapted language and the second one would not be. I very recently encountered this problem when I forgot my hard disk in one of my classrooms, and then I asked the student to find it, and then he went to the class and he typed me the answer that I'll TC sir, don't TK TNSN. Now, I could not understand that at that point of time, and I had another student standing in front of me. I asked, I don't understand this. And he said that it's very simple. He said, I'll take care, sir, don't take tension. So that's how it can create confusion also. But once that confusion is removed, you come across a new meaning of discovering language altogether. Now, these are different emoticons and smileys. When the culture of emoticons started at that time, these symbols were not converted into smileys. Nowadays, with smartphone functions, you get tailor-made smileys in your mobile phone, which you can use and which will give you the clear idea. But to start with, people started experimenting with different emoticons and smileys in this manner. And there are online dictionaries also available for understanding emoticons, SMS words, and smileys. At the conclusion, what I would say is it is perfectly natural for all revolution to start with uncertainty. When an experiment is carried on, we never know whether the experiment would be successful, whether it would be successful in the longer run, or it would be unsuccessful. But if we don't experiment, there are no fruits to be read. And that's the reason why all languages pass through different types of revolution. Translation period in language revolution is always a tug of war. There are purists who believe that language should not go undergo experimentation, and there are young people who always want to experiment with different approaches. Absolute language symbols may be replaced by relatively language symbols. That is anyhow going to happen in the days to come. So my request to all the teachers of English language, and especially you, the teachers in making, and the people who would spread literacy about English literature and language, is let us not take extreme points and try to observe changes with sympathetic understanding of the requirements of the users, so we can all lead language to perfect revolution. The world of multilingualism is full of purists, people who believe that there exists some form of a language which is superior to other, but in fact no language is superior to other language. All the languages have their own space, especially against the influence of other languages. It is eminent that we try to control, but the historical reality is that the languages would change whether we want them or not. These are some of the resources that you can explore. I would end my presentation. Thank you very much.